cloud. All right, you're going.
Welcome everyone. It's October 20th. It's our science call with Mary Esther Gilbert, and I will add some of my sales experience and expertise to it so we can learn about the product and then how can we transfer it into a conversation that we actually can sell it to our customers, associates, and expand our business and our community. So I'm very excited. I see a lot of people jumping on right now. Thank you for joining. Mary Esther, thank you for being here. You look beautiful and radiant as always. So
Thank you
excited
so much.
about the immunity kit. I think it's very appropriate. It's October. Kai came home coughing with green snot coming out of his nose. So I guess it's the right time to talk about it. So
It happens.
it happens, right? It happens. It's almost inevitable. So I'd like to talk about it. I know you prepared, you know everything about it. I'm not the best host when it comes to asking questions about science, but I know Ruth is, I know Sherry is, I know probably Julia is. So just let's start first talk about the kit so we can get some clarity on what's in it, why is it so good as it is, and then I like to do a little interaction so we make it like tangible right on the spot. So okay, then what's most important to talk about, the 5 talking points about the kit, the top 5 bullet points that make it easy to talk about and actually get people engaged on trying the product, buy it, and then maybe even want to resell it too. So
Absolutely.
let's do that. Um, are you gonna share a document, or you want anybody to ask questions? You tell me how you like it, and then I will pipe in to create some dynamic and some interaction. I like this call to be interactive and not a lecture. I like Mary Esther to share a lot of her wisdom, and then I want to engage in it. What have you been doing with this product? How is the sales going for you around this kit? What are your obstacles? What are your challenges? And how can we nail this to 5 speaking points to make it like, I know everything, but I don't need to talk about everything, so we actually can sell it and put it in the market. So Mary Esther, I'm gonna pass it to you. See, people are jumping on. They're all coming, Mary Esther. They're all coming.
That's good to know. Good. Yes, so I had the the immunity kit all ready to go. I kind of summarized it because when I was asked to go over the new products, the new collagen products, I went ahead and did the research on those. So we've got the, practically monographs on those. So I was open to anything we wanted to discuss tonight. And I did provide as we discussed, Esther, in our other meeting, the 5, basic bullet points on like flashcards, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I included in this also. So I'm ready for anything, whatever we want to talk about, whatever questions want to be asked. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Yeah, why don't you just start talk about the kit as you used to do, what this do so you're in your flow and in your power and your element of where you shine best. And then we can talk about the 5 talking points and get some questions and engagement, and then I will add some juju to it.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to summarize as much as I can because it's a lot of information to cover tonight if we cover everything, but that's okay. I've got all night for everybody if everybody's game for that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. So basically, I summarized everything about the air and about the alt, and about the grow. So I don't have to read everything. I know that everyone has seen the phytochemical compounds that I've gone over for every product before. But basically, if we talk about the air and how it contributes to the immunity kit, then it's just basically allowing all this free-flowing circulation without obstructions in the bloodstream, basically. And allowing the body to self-cleanse and self-regenerate all the cells that need self-regenerating. So that kind of thing, just opening up the airway and the circulatory pathway so there's no obstructions. It's an anti-inflammatory. As you can see, all of these wonderful phytochemical compounds that these botanicals have all together in the air. So basically summarizing it, that's what we have in the air. And in the ALT, it's very great for the immune system, the respiratory defenses, again, knocking out all the bacteria that get stuck in the lungs and, causes all of these respiratory problems. So here we have the phytonutrient compounds for that. Also, the botanicals in alt are great anti-inflammatories. They help attenuate because they heal the problem. they go to the problem and repair what needs repairing. So therefore it's not inflamed anymore, and therefore you don't have pain anymore, and therefore all the cells have returned back to normal functioning, right? So then it protects the tissues too. So any degradation of the tissues, that happens when people are not nourished properly. So we've got an influx of the kinds of plant compounds that are actually protecting our tissues from dying off too soon. So then we've got the antioxidants, right? Just doesn't allow the degeneration process to happen, and it cleanses all the tissues as well. So we have a great array of botanicals in the alt that help us do that. And then we've got the GRW, it just does not allow our cells to be damaged. So we have all of the immune systems coming in, aiding the immune system, and also helping the immune system function better down at their DNA level. So we have all of these, compounds that are doing this work, and also the proanthocyanidins will help carry away a lot of the toxins that the body accumulates, any synthetics that are circulating around and being stored in the tissues. And more antioxidants and the phenolic acids. And then we've got all of these extra electrons in these plants, plus what's added to the drops that will neutralize a lot of these toxins in the body, rendering them not able to do any damage and allowing the immune system to take them apart and allowing us to detoxify and eliminate them through our 5 eliminative channels. So also the anti-inflammatory, aspects of them, stress relieving properties. So they go in and help the nervous system and the hormonal system work together to attenuate and not overreact to stress, and to do any kind of counterbalancing that is produced in the body when we're under stress. So we have a lot of stress chemicals being produced when we're under stress. And so these phytochemicals in GRW will help us attenuate that and keep us more calm. And also we have the hormone precursors. So any hormone the body needs to make, all 10,000 of them, they're the regulating, policing, phytochemicals that are in the body. So these plant compounds will help attenuate that as well. So it's going to keep us more calm. It's going to help the immune system function better without all kinds of stressors in the way. And of course, it's going to cleanse the blood vessels of any toxins as well. So now the 5 main takeaway points that I would have, I have trouble summarizing all this science, you all, but they're not that much to memorize, but this is just some ideas. I mean, you can read this document and pick out your own 5 takeaway points too, but this is what I see. These drops together in the immune kit address the cellular needs, of all the body systems. So each individual product includes the respiratory system, the immune system, the cardiovascular system, and the hormonal systems. So altogether, we've got all these body systems, right? And then we can help the body cells reduce inflammation responses by correcting and resolving the root causes of inflammation. That's the second point. The third takeaway would be containing the stress relieving properties. All these plant phytonutrient compounds are found to reduce the physical and mental, emotional, psychological reactions to stress. And then the fourth point would be helps the immune system clear and eliminate all these illness-causing microbials and foreign toxins. And the fifth one would be to help properly regulate and maintain a balance of hormones that influence our reactions to stress. So there's a little bit of redundancy there, but if you want 5 points, or you can narrow them down to 3 points if you want. But this is something that you want to take away and try to summarize so that when you talk to other people, it catches their interest. It establishes you as the authority or the expert in their eyes, because you know more than they do. You really do. You've been at these calls for a long time now, and so if you want to just read and take your 5 points, your 5 notes, that's what you want to go with. So that way you can help them. The problems are already embedded in these 5 points. So what you're doing is offering solutions.
I love this, Mary Esther. I always come from a sales perspective. How can we actually put this out there in the marketplace? How can we get more customers? How can we help more people? And then how can we make it easier to talk about and sell so people understand the impact? And these are 5 really good takeaways that I think every human being will understand when you talk about this. And I think it takes away a lot of the unnecessary questions we get when we just start rambling about the product and everybody starts talking about different takeaways about the product. I think if we all talk the same way about a kit and about the product, um, and it's kind of duplicatable. Like if we can just create those flashcards for each product and each kit, and then we just have that, either on our desktop or when we go to events, we have the printout versions. It's gonna make it so much easier to talk about the product. And then people have more questions. Now we can give them a brochure, we can send them a video, they can buy the big amazing book, or they can join the science calls uh, to really learn more if that's of their interest. But I think the majority of people just want a fast, quick solution for their problem. They don't like taking the pills or the shakes or whatever they're taking. And this is going to be an easy way to talk about the kit. And it's kind of a no-brainer when you see those 5 takeaway points, that it's kind of a no-brainer to start using it for so many reasons for your health. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Well, how does this look for you? Does it make sense? Is this going to take away some of the pain points or the obstacles or challenges you walk into? When we just summarize it like this, is there anything that comes to mind? Julia.
This feels like the difference between features and benefits. This doesn't feel like benefits as much as features. Like I feel like it's really cool when we know real life examples of how these kits work for people.
I
Yeah,
agree,
that
Julia.
that is
Sorry,
the
Esther.
add-on. Okay. Sorry, Mary Esther. So this is, Julia, when you talk about the product, you can talk about all the benefits and the testimonials, but what the product, the kit is designed to do, that is this, okay? The advantage of taking the kit. So from a sales perspective, this is what you focus on, and then you share all the benefits and some testimonials or your own personal story. That's always most powerful.
Right. And I feel that we walk a fine line here because we need to stick to what the science says. And yes, people have all of these health issues, and we want to say, well, we have something that will fix that. We have to be very careful with our language. We have to protect the company and your positions as associates in the company. So, I mean, like I said before, companies have been shut down overnight because people are saying the words that make them look as if they're trying to prescribe or treat or diagnose. So it is a fine line, Julia, and I totally agree with you. I wish I could say, well, these set of people had heart disease, and we have a particular drop, that will help. We can't say that, not in so
That's
many
not what I'm
words.
saying. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And not even a little bit. What I'm saying is, like, when I'm talking about real life examples of how to share this specific kit. In fact, this is my favorite kit because Grow is my absolute favorite, bar none product. Like, I can't get enough of Grow. I usually talk about it in terms of like, oh, well, you have kids, and every time we go back to school, this is a great product for the kids who are going back to school or things like that. But I do like what you guys are saying very, very much, but I don't ever get into diagnosis or specific issues and things like that. I'm talking more in generalities. Like, this is a product that really helps with people who want to keep up their immunity, boost their immunity and things like that, and give real life examples of where that comes into play. Oh, when you go back to work after a vacation, or when you've been on an airplane or something like that. That's all I was talking about.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's really great because you can even summarize these 5 points by exactly what you're saying. It's for the immune system. It reduces inflammation. I mean, this can be narrowed down to just a couple of words if you really need to.
I want you guys to keep in mind, we have also people that join us brand new. So you're advanced, you're here for a long time. So you have everything in your mind. You know how to talk about the product. You know how to get people engaged in the conversation, even how to sell it. I want you to understand that this is also for people who are newer in the company or even brand new. They need a little bit more talking points, but you can use just 2 words. If you only want to talk about one thing, fine. I just want to give enough body for the conversation, but not a whole like 5 pages long. You don't need to know everything about the product to sell it, but these are the most important things to bring up in the conversation after you ask them what are your challenges, etc., or what is your number one health challenge, or people say, now my immune system is not good. I'm having a cough for 5 weeks or whatever people bring up. They can talk about it. And of course, you go with the flow of the conversation. I just want to make sure from a sales perspective that you have enough uh, tangible context and content to talk about without going over the whole brochure or going in details or feel overwhelmed with all the data and science to stop people from selling it, if that makes sense.
I have a question pertaining to the immunity kit. Mary Esther, for those people, and it's just about everybody, but most people don't know how much they have on the PFASs, the forever chemicals that are out there. How much good and how would this kit help with help removing those toxins? Or can we even remove those PFASs?
There's definitely these phytochemicals that are listed throughout this document here. There is plenty of science that shows how they have been bound, molecularly to these synthetics and helping them disassemble those dense molecules and help the body eliminate them. Once they have been disassembled to some point, they're much easier to eliminate, and it does take time. The forever chemicals, they last a long time in the environment, but the human body is a lot more quick in how it detoxifies. So the metabolic rate at which we get rid of toxins is much faster than something that might decompose in a landfill over, hundreds of years. So, and plus we're talking about nanoparticles. So the sooner we can avoid them and get them out of the body, the better the health, the healthier the body will be. So getting a lot of these phytochemicals in our bodies working all the time is so critical for reducing that kind of potential health hazard.
That's perfect. Thank you. Because I've had a lot of people ask me lately. I don't know if they've been in the news a lot or what, but I've had a lot of people asking if our products can address the forever chemicals. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime you see something like what I said here, clear blood vessels, they're talking about eliminating these chemicals, antioxidants, all these terms that are used in the scientific literature is usually about getting these chemicals. I mean, look at all these right here. These are all known to bind to toxic chemicals and help the body eliminate them in one way or another.
So to sell it to people, I could just say, I could go over this and just say, we have the binders that help remove them from the body.
Yes, we have the molecular phytochemicals in plants that help them be removed from the body. They're not going to happen overnight. It takes a long time for the body to, this is all happening at the multiple trillions, level of all of these biochemical processes going on in the body. But the more of these phytochemicals that are circulating in the body, the more chance the body has to get to it, and get them out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and
You're
then
welcome.
people may ask how fast, right? I know, and it depends on the body and a lot of factors. Is it like between 30 and 90 days? What will be a range that makes sense to talk about?
Yeah, and like you said, it depends on their state of health and their age and just how long they've been exposed to these toxic chemicals. Enzymes are so important. So the diet is extremely important too. The drops are wonderful and they work wonders, but we need the water and the fiber and the extra vitamins and minerals that are in whole food complexes. So, a very healthy raw food diet, half the diet should be raw, enzyme active food and light energy frequency active foods. So because once you cook them, then all of that is gone. All that is dead. It's just everything is inert and your body has to compensate for trying to utilize those nutrients. So we need a lot of raw foods. I'm not saying vegetarianism or veganism. We need the meats as well. And there's, I'll go to any kind of battle it out with anybody who thinks that vegetarianism or veganism is healthier.
Right, that makes sense. So are there any questions about this so far from a science combined sales perspective? Are you find it easy to talk about it, easy to sell? What are the objections people have? Because I know people want a quick fix, right? Suck on one lozenge and suddenly they're gonna be totally healthy. So what are the things that you're walking into that we can address on this call? And if there's none,
Es-
that's someone.
Esther,
Yes.
I like that this is actually a bird's eye view and makes it more simple, because I do have people, a lot of people that seem to think they need to know everything about the product before they can share it with somebody. And I think what they're really wanting to know is enough to understand, just enough to understand what it does, so that it doesn't slow them down from sharing it with somebody else. I got that this morning talking to that guy in Switzerland, that he says, well, do you have something that just breaks this down real quick, a little bit more than what the brochure says? That's all I need, so I know that these are worthy of having, and then I'll share them. And I'm like, wow, that's really what we all want to hear. We just bits and pieces so that they can get out and start sharing them. They're going to find out that they work within a matter of sometimes moments, or sometimes it's 30, 60, 90 days. But I'm glad they're not asking for so much information, if we can just keep it that way.
Yeah, it all
Yeah.
depends on what their values are and what's most important to them. But I think this is gonna help as a great talking points, so you don't have the feeling you need to know everything. And when people have a lot of questions, you say, this is most important, you need to know. If you want to know more, let's get you started on using the products, and then I will give you a brochure and some videos, and then here's the science goal in the book. But you have to understand, the majority of the people, when they ask questions about it, is not that you tell them the whole science behind it. They just want to know that you know what you're talking about, and that you can explain very simple and easy what's the product for, and what is maybe the main ingredient or something. Is not that they expect you to come up with the whole science bible in your head. They just want to make sure that you know what to talk about. And when you can give them this, I'm gonna tell you 95% of the population is gonna be totally happy with this information.
Yeah, I tried to combine the science with these takeaway points. A little bit of science with the benefits, like you said, cost benefits, right? I think Julia, you said that the cost benefits, or Ruth, I forget who said that. But anyway, yeah, it's you're balancing a little bit of the science and a little bit of the solutions, and focusing on the solutions is important to them. You know,
Yeah.
they want to know it's credible. They want to know it's a good company, and there's science behind it, there's research behind it. People are getting more and more sophisticated as far as that goes. But what will it do for me? That's their main interest.
Right.
Well, I think people also, especially if they're new and they're looking at this from a business perspective, if they think that they have to know all of the information, that is going to scare them away. And having having Mary Esther's book, having the recorded calls for the people that want the science, and having the monoliths, that then takes care of the people that want to go down deep, down that rabbit hole of all the science. So I think this is a win-win for everybody, because ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice any day of the week. And this makes it simple for even the newest person to just, here, look at this. They don't even have to memorize this. They can just hand it to somebody. Go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, Julie.
Well, I was adding on to the talking points and being simple. And as I think I heard what Julia was saying, if an advertising image, say if you wanted to target kids going back to school, you could have the image of kids in their backpacks, simply put, 3, 4, 5 of these bullet points on there, and that's going to be attracted to the mommy, the daddy, the somebody who wants to keep their kids healthy, same as being on an airplane, a picture of a passenger on an airplane, and you just list these bullet points. So I really love this way. Just wanted to say that. That's all.
Thank you, Julie. And remember, most people, when they go to the doctor and they get a prescription of whatever antibiotics, I don't know anybody's really ask the doctor what's all in it and read the whole, you know, this whole 10-page document you get at the doctor, what's in it. They just start taking it and they just trust what's in it. So I always like to challenge a human being and say, hey, when the doctor prescribes to you this antibiotics, are you going to research everything that's in, or are you just going to take it because you trust it? And it's because it's a doctor, but you can come do that comparison. I had the same when my mom was here. I think there was something with her digestion, so I gave the ice, and she says, "I don't know what it is." I said, "No, but when your husband, who's a doctor, gives you some pill to take, you take it right away without thinking about it. Do you ever wonder what's in it?" And she said, "No." I said, "Then I want you to trust me and take it." So she took it, and 10 minutes later, her stomach ache was gone, and her reflux was settled to normal, and she was totally happy. I said, "You didn't die, but you feel better."
That's not bad.
you know Sometimes we just need to tell people reality and don't shy away from that. And that's the funny part. My mom had to laugh so hard when I told her this, that I think maybe that fixed the whole problem in the first place, but hey, doesn't matter. Thank you, Mary Esther, because this is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Because the science is incredible, and it's so much validation for the quality of the product, and it works. But now to go out in the world and do social media posts or talk about it or be at an event, and give quick answers or quick talking points, like we talked about, create something very simple like the little cheat sheet. Um, that's gonna probably help a lot of people to just have an easier conversation, because this is all people are gonna look for. Is this, oh, it works for this, okay, let me just take it. And you do a testimonial, or however you're gonna present it, or you tell your own story. That's enough. That's enough.
So I have a question for you, Esther, and everyone else here. Do these PDFs really help you? Do they truly educate you? Do they truly give you any kind of confidence in the product? And do you find yourself quoting some of this information to others?
For me, I like it. I like it when we go over the PDF and you talk about it. Um, and so I think I look back at it, I save them when I want to know. It's not that I'm all day in APLGO and all day in the products. That's not who I am. And then I trust when I get those shipped, and I asked a few people, what do I take for what? And I just trust it, but that's who I am. But my job is to translate it into sales talking points, and basically a cheat sheet, like the bottom line. What do we need to talk about? What's most important, and what's going to move the needle to get it in more hands, so we can benefit more people, and the people that are selling it start to make more money doing so.
Yeah, that's the whole gist of it. I just want everyone to be credible, and I want the company to be credible. And all these scientific references that I pepper, everything throughout, it's worth going into once in a while, because it gives you a new understanding of how the body works and how these nutrients work in the body. That is so exciting when you're so confident that something that you give someone is going to work, because you know what it's doing in the body. And that comes across too, whether you are, scientifically literate or not. The excitement and the energy is there, and people will sense that. It's a trust building thing.
Yeah, it's always good to have as a backup, like, this is the whole science behind it. This is proven it works. This is why we are legit. This is why we're legal. This is why we're compliant. All those things. So you can talk about it, you can show them, but what is most important, I summarize it for you, is this, okay? Just the fact that you have all the talking points, that you have the documentation, that there is a book, there is a science call, and all the things why we are legit, it's important to mention without going into the detail. So they're all very important. It just, you have to get to a place that you're so confident talking about the product that you know you have it. You have it either on your screen when you talk to people, or you have it in your bag if you have to show it. But your confidence and just saying it should be enough in the first place. If not, you say, I'm happy to send you all the science. I'm happy to send you the proof that we're compliant, right? And then you keep talking about the most important talking points.
I hope that helps.
Please ask your questions. This is an interactive call. Okay. And
I
otherwise,
think this is a perfect scenario. And the reason why, as many of us have alluded to, especially if you're new here, I've seen people say, oh, I like the bullet points. And I've seen other people say, well, I like the science. And we're all different. What is great about this is you can now give the person the bullet points and then say, if you want more information, here's Mary Esther's book. Here's all the recordings that go, hours into the rabbit hole on every ingredient in the product and what it does and how it does. So it satisfies every single personality type out there, but it keeps it simple for the people that are sharing the information, that it's duplicatable, that we don't have to know everything that Mary Esther knows, because she's been doing this for 45, 46 years. And I could never, she's forgotten more than I will ever learn about them. So knowing that I can say, here's the synopsis, and here's where you can go to find the in-depth information, because there are a lot of people out there that want it, I think is a win-win for everybody.
yes. And so now you have the power of 30 plus year science plus 30 years plus sales experience, and now you marry these two, and now you put that into action with tangible things to put it out there, because the science is as valuable as being able to have a short conversation and move the product. They're both equally valuable. It's not that the science is less valuable, but to sell it, you have to talk about the most important things and keep it very simple. The more complicated it becomes in the conversation, the less likely they're gonna buy. Unless they're like scientists and doctors and they want to know everything, and that's okay. But still, they still have to try the product. And even most scientists or doctors you talk to, when you say this, they already know. They already know. They're just gonna test if you know. I want you to understand the difference. It's not that they want to know everything. They already do know everything, or at least in their mind they do. They know a lot, and they're just testing if you know what you're talking about. They can trust you to buy the product from you. I know, Mary, I said it when I say that you're laughing, but it is true.
Well, my experience with medical people, they don't get this kind of education, and that's a big gaping hole in their ability to help their patients. And so, filling in the gaps this way, there's a couple of doctors who are very interested in the kind of work that I do, and they're actually my students, So it's always very gratifying to see that they're willing to learn and realize that there is a gap in how they can help their patients. So, yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up, because you're going to run into doctors, and I don't think we should be intimidated by them. They have their own sets of knowledge, and their hands are tied. So we need to help them. Here's something that they can use to help their patients get well, even more so, including in whatever, protocol or course of healing that, or prescriptions, or whatever they're doing with their patients, whatever that course is. This can be a tremendous boost, and for their reputation, it's all good. It's all good for everyone. But I also wanted to point out that what you were saying earlier about how this information, there's so many steps, right? When you first introduce it to someone, it's going to be so new to them, and they're just looking for a solution, right? And this is the 5 takeaway points are great for that. And then as you get more educated, and your clients, or your customers, or your recruits into APLGO get in and get involved, they're going to have all of these resources accessible to them. And yeah, there's going to be different people who want different things, but there's also a grade of learning. Step 1, you learn the 5 takeaway points. Step 2, you look at the PDFs, or you drop in on the calls, or also view the videos afterwards, which I always post on both the my website and on my YouTube channel. And by the way, if you truly want to help your customers, clients, or associates to know more about the other side of what causes health problems, then there's a lot of educational videos on my YouTube channel too. You know, what are NSAIDs and what are acetaminophen, and why do people, prefer to take natural products over those? And they find out. So what I do is I present the scientific data, the very extensive scientific data as to the health hazards of these other things that are being prescribed everywhere or even over the counter. Not that we're medical doctors. I want to make that distinction. I have to be very careful, but it's hard to not overstep that very fine line. We're walking on a tightrope here.
Yeah, it's always good to make that clear. But most people will figure that out or know, but some people will specifically ask. Just be transparent. I think that's always good. And know
Yeah,
your stuff.
yeah. So yeah, educational videos are the key to understanding, both genres.
I agree. Yes, powerful. Who likes to come out next?
I have a question, Esther. So with this information, these 5 bullet points, is APLGO going to be making like slides, an image, a PDF, something that we can use in our marketing?
Now, I think we have to make it.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. I just didn't want to put the,
I'm
start the
not
wheel.
gonna ask anyone if there's a way to do it and design it. I think if we put them in one PDF, so one product or one kit on one page, so you don't need, you print it out once, so you have it when you talk about the product, you just have that one piece of paper. I think it's good to create something, and in the PowerPoint, we can have slides for each one of them. And then
It-
when you talk about the product, that's the only one. You're not gonna show the 19 lozengers. You're just gonna talk
No.
about
And
all the kits. You just want to make sure that when you talk about that one product, that you don't show everything. I think that's a great way to do it.
well, in secondary, to add on to that, and Ruth might have this answer, because I know in Luna, we can all create them. That'd be fabulous. Luna has information on each individual box or product, but does Luna have information on each of the kits, Ruth?
Not yet.
Okay.
What you can do though is take the monolith and upload that, have Luna create the type of picture you want
Mhm.
with the 3 products in it, and then just put it on into a PDF, put the whole thing into a PDF and use that for marketing. And you
Okay,
can even
perfect.
have, more than one picture on there, as you know,
Right.
with Luna. And then Wednesday night, there'll be some new things coming out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. But it's good to create a PDF. Ruth, I don't know who wants to take that lead. And then I'm happy to
I
put
can,
my seal's eyes over it.
yeah, I can do that. I don't have any more graphics until 10 p.m. my time tonight because I made all my graphics for
I
the day.
didn't
But
say you have to do it before you go to bed.
well, I don't know. Lately I've been going to bed early and getting up early because I'm still on grease time. But I will get one made and send over to you for your approval. How's that?
That sounds amazing. Teamwork makes the dream work. Mary Esther, is there anything you'd like to say about this kit? Because I know there's a lot to say about it. Because there are not that many people coming out. Although I like for you to come out. It's always good to come out.
Too bad we can't use the testimonials because they're so powerful and there's so many of them.
No, you still can use them, trust me.
Well, they're so watered down. I mean, if they become official information, they're so watered down. I found that when I wrote that article, for the business magazine. I went ahead and put all the science out there, and I posted all of the testimonials that I received without changing a word, and I knew that was not going to fly. And the resulting editing that I had to do was pretty bland, and that cheats everyone. It doesn't give the company enough credit as to the impact these drops can have.
There's two ways. There you have the official way where it's in writing on the website, and then there's the conversational part when you have a
Yeah.
conversation with somebody where you tell
Yeah.
the whole testimonial. And most people, I'm telling you guys, when you do a testimonial, they're not gonna go check your testimonial, or they go like, let me put it in some compliance check, like, you know, that's
Yeah.
very rare. So just
Yeah.
please be yourself, tell the testimonial as it is. And when we put things in writing, then of course it has to be compliant and we cannot say a lot of things. The thing that we cannot do money claims, how much money you can make. You can make you can talk about how much money you made or how much money you can make, or the incentive strips you won, or how you can prove them. This is how much money you made last year. Like, you don't need to be secret about it. Don't lie. It's not like everybody will be a millionaire in this company. That's nonsense. So you want to keep it, of course, realistic, but you can talk about money as long as you don't promise them that they're going to make a certain amount of money. You know, it's the same thing. Ruth?
Just to remind everybody, everything that Mary Esther puts out is compliant. But if you ever have a question, if something that you want to say is compliant, all you have to do is put it into Luna. Remember, she's privately trained, so she will not say anything that is not compliant. And if you put something into your text that is not compliant, she will tell you that it's not compliant. So that is a safety mechanism to make sure that all associates aren't out there, just spouting off at the mouth. So I encourage people to run things by Luna. And that way, it's correct and you cannot get into trouble.
Yeah, and it's important. Don't, when people ask a lot of questions, you just tell them, you ask so many great questions. I don't know everything top of my head. I like to send you this brochure or this science call or this video, and this is the book, or give them the resources where they can find all the information. And most of the time that stops all the questions, and they say, now would you like to try the product while you're reading all the science, right? But just reading about it is not going to change anything in their system, so they have to try it. So you just have to refer them to that you have access to all the science and all the answers to all their questions. It's just not stored in your personal library called your brain. And that's okay. There's nobody gonna say, now you don't know everything. Like, the fact that you know where to find everything and that you can send them everything and that is enough for most people. And then you send it and they can read and study all night long. And you just follow up the next day. But I also recommend you just sell them the product so they can try it while they're reading about it. Remember, I always have my sales hat on because that's what I do.
I've actually
You know what I-
given people Mary Esther's book on loan. So if I'm prospecting somebody and they're asking all the science questions, I just give them the book. I say, I have 3 copies of it, and I just hand it to them and I say, listen, I'll loan it to you for a week. I'm going to come back in 7 days and pick it up, go through whatever it is that you need to go through to get all your questions answered.
Like that too. Like that too.
And if they do that, they'll definitely fall in love with our products, especially if they want all that science stuff.
And they've all signed up after having the book for at least a week. And then 2 said, but now can I keep the book? And then I said, if you come in at the $1,800 pack, I will let you keep the book.
Great, that's sales. I like it. It's a win-win-win for all of us. I like that, Tina.
Love
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah. So make sure you have at least 2 copies of the book. So you have one for yourself and one to loan out to somebody to just read it and then give it back to you. And if they fall in love, they can keep it, but they have to purchase a minimum of $1,800. I like that a lot. And probably they will at that point. All right, who has a question about the kit, how to sell the kit, or a testimonial story? There are 30 people on this call and only 3 are talking. Where are the other 27?
I sell this kit all the time. The immunity kit's one of my fast selling ones, honestly. Mainly because I have so many testimonials that I have on my own with the product inside there, especially air and alt. So for me, selling this one is easy. I sell this one very easy. And not just when kids are back in school. I sell it to a lot of people. A lot of people deal, especially in Arizona. Especially when spring hits and all the lovely Palo Verdes are sprouting their yellow flowers. Everyone's allergic to them. But this one is one of my most favorite kits to sell. I think this is probably the top one I sell, in all honesty, outside of the metabolic reset kit and the happy kit.
Yeah, this is a great kit for many reasons. People that travel a lot, like airports, airplanes, people that have hard time with transition from the seasons or allergies, or kids back to school. You know, Kai came home with his first cough and green snot coming out of his nose, so we know he went back to school. Happy to give you a visual.
I love these talking points, the 5 main takeaways. I think they're great, especially if you're at an event. You can have them on like a little 3x5 card or a 4x6 card and have them right there in front of your product that you're demonstrating or that you're sampling, so the person that you're talking to can see it right away. When you're at an event like that, people want quick because they want to move to the next one, and if you can catch their eye with good points, they're going to stay and talk to you a little longer and want more information. So I think these 5 takeaway points on a card like this is perfect.
Yeah.
They work really well Tuesday. This is mine. I take them with me. Too bad they don't fit in my purse. But these little cards, they list everything that I do, and I just hand them out like candy. So they're very effective. They're just, a couple of bullet points on one side and my impacting photo on the other, phone number, email, website. Boom. That's what works.
Those are great. I love the colors and everything on that because it's eye-catching too. You want something that's going to catch their eye and stop them, and that's great. Thank you, Mary Esther. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you, Tuesday. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's very powerful. All right. What are the questions about the kit itself?
I didn't get any set of questions to answer this time, Esther. I guess they left it all up to you.
It's all coming from me, right?
Yes. But I was also asked to go over the collagen ingredients, and the ingredient lists are huge, and I just had to truly summarize them. I provided the usual scientific references, but I went over every single ingredient. So if anybody wants to go over that, we want to do that on another call, I would understand, but if we want to do it now, we can.
Yes, please.
Hey,
I
you
guess-
know what, Mary Esther? When we were on the cruise, we were told, and this was so good to hear, that you had gone over all the ingredients and some of them you weren't particularly fond of, so they actually took them out. Talk about that.
Wow. Okay, so when I got the ingredient list from Esther, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I saw that those ingredients were still in there. And boy, did I wrestle with that one. I thought, okay, they decided not to take them. See, I didn't know they'd taken them out. So I went ahead. I was just about to say tonight that this is the honest scientific truth. I'm just here to give you the science. I was going to be very mechanical about it and very neutral about it, but we can definitely talk about that.
So I know that we're launching these products in November. So could we do the next call with you on the the November call, could that be all about the 2 different kinds of collagen? And then we can record it and have it for our future use would that be okay?
Yeah, and if we have time today, we can turn off the recording and I can give you the information that I feel is a problem. But if they've taken them out, then it's not a problem. I'll just remove them from this document too. But yeah, it's up to you guys all. It's what you want to do tonight.
I don't think I want to talk about problems or things that should not be in the product. Let's
Right,
take,
especially if we're being recorded right now.
yes, I don't want to talk about things that are not working. And now everybody knows on this call what the new product is. So that is the takeaway from November. Um,
But at least they took them out,
yeah,
I just
know, but
for the record.
I don't think everybody knew that we had a collagen coming. At least that was my understanding.
Sergey did say something on our last call, so most people did know that it was.
All right, now
said
that
something.
collagen is coming, then however we want to use this call, I'm at your service. So I think we should keep it. You can just highlight some about the product, why they should use the product, the benefits of the product. And so as soon as it comes out, they should all get it. And then in November, we can talk about the science of the product.
Yes, I do have bullet points for those. So let me just go ahead and scroll down to the bullet points. How's that?
Mary Esther, you speak my language.
Okay. Look at all the information for next month.
Yay,
Instead of,
so get your team on it. It's
yeah.
a new product. We have a lot of
Yeah,
new for everyone.
I did double the work this time, so that's good. Okay, so now here's the 5 takeaway points on the beauty collagen. It contains important proteins that provide support and strength to various tissues and organs, and that means like the skin and the bones, the tendons, the ligaments, the cartilage, and the blood vessel pliability and flexibility so they don't get damaged. Provides the array of those essential nutrients that allow all of this greater movement in the joints and mobility. And of course, it's going to go down to the micro level of the skin cells and do their work as far as skin aging reversal, wrinkle reduction, hydration. It gets rid of roughness on the surface because you're not going to slough off unhealthy cells, and restores youthful elasticity. That elasticity is what is the age reversing, benefit. And then it provides a full range of nutrients known to improve the immune function, to attenuate inflammation and detoxification. So detoxification, improving the immune system, balancing the hormones, all of that. When all of that is cleaned out and repaired, then you don't have inflammation. And then provides essential nutrients for better functioning of the brain, the nervous system, and again, bones, organs, and glands. The hormonal system is so important. So beauty collagen is a pretty much all-encompassing. If you take this with the BTY, you'll be all set.
All right. So do you take this in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening?
Anytime. They're nutrients, your body will use them anytime.
Okay.
They can be in a shake or a smoothie. You can put them, mix them in salad dressings or however you want, as long as you get them in the body somehow.
I think that's amazing. You can put it in salad dressing.
Why not? I put everything in my yogurt, in my soups and stews, and my
I
smoothies.
see that. This is great, but just don't get it warm, right?
Right. I wouldn't use it for baking because there's too many nutrients that would die off, in the baking.
Yes. Wow, these 5 bullet points are amazing.
It's an awesome product.
Jumping in on that one, Esther.
I love bullet points because you have to make, the genius is in the simplicity when it comes to selling, okay? It's about how simple can you make the science? How simple can you make something that's actually really complex so the average human being understands what you're talking about and they can relate to it? That's the whole point of sales, right? Making it simple. Less is more. And then the more is for later. The less is now, so you buy, and then the more is for later. So I like these talking points because this makes total sense for every human being. Like these talking points makes it easy to have a powerful conversation, to get people to try the product, use the product with all these benefits. is kind of like a no-brainer. And if you can tell them, if you don't like it in a shaker with water, just put it in your smoothie or in your yogurt or in your salad dressing. Or it's good to have those alternatives, because most people really don't think outside the box. They think they have to put it in their water and then they don't like it. But what if you put it in something you already make anyway every morning? Let's say you make your green smoothie in the morning or your juice, you just put it in there and it's part of the intake. Sharon.
You know, you can also put them in the raw food energy bars. There's a lot of new ingredients or new recipes out there where you don't have to bake your energy bars at all. You just mix up some ingredients as long as they stick together and you shape them to however you want. And this kind of collagen product works great in those.
Mary Esther, you've been watching TikTok. I've been seeing those.
Really, I don't watch TikTok.
So
They're
I think
everywhere.
it's a great
Um,
idea to come, because this is a powder, that we come with suggestions, because people will push back. I don't like powder and I don't like shakes. So let's
Mhm.
come up with like 5 alternatives how they can take it without putting it in a shaker cup.
So but what I was going to get at, Mary Esther, I was just giving you a hard time there. Never, not me.
I love it.
We're gonna have this available to us in Tennessee and in Scottsdale, or the ability to order it. We need to talk about making sure we've got, 60 and 100 people there. I'm excited.
Oh, I agree 100%, because I'm gonna make it this time to Scottsdale. And I actually bring my wife, who's gonna talk about a lot of amazing talking points. It's gonna make a lot of things a lot easier for all of you. So she's
So
gonna.
is this gonna be available there, Tina? Oh, she's gone.
It's gonna be available either physical at the event, or you can order it on the spot and it will be shipped to your home.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks.
I have a call tomorrow morning with Felix and Esther and Svetlana to get all the details for the.
Okay, so maybe we could have Tina have some yogurt ready, or
We can have something
is that
ready.
right? to put, because we tried it with water
Mm-hmm.
and it was okay, but to be able to put that powder into something that we're already eating, like salad dressing, that would be kind of different. Let's check it out.
Yeah, I think we should give
Okay.
people like 5 alternatives. So when they push back on that, we have it covered right away. Right. So the goal of the conversation to move a product in the marketplace, we have to have already 5 answers to their one question. See, I don't like powder in water. I don't like shakes. Okay, no problem. Are you eating yogurt? Are you making smoothies? Do you do juicing? Are you eating salad with a dressing?
Those are
Oh.
great points. I
I
really wouldn't have thought of that.
Coyote in my backyard. 1 second.
You can
Thank
stir
you,
them
Mary
in.
Esther. I totally would not have thought about that.
There's so many ways. I mean, here I'm thinking I should make a list of everything that these things can be used with. Like you can even, just so that they don't get destroyed in cooking, add them at the last minute while you're serving a soup or a stew. Mashed potatoes, whatever. It'll alter the taste a little bit, but not that much, because you've got all these other ingredients, in the pot, so to speak. But yeah, there's so many creative ways to do this. And give me any excuse. I'm used to them. I've been hearing them for decades. I can reply to any excuse you give me. There's
I
just
make
no
them up on the
excuse.
spot. I have an answer to everything. Even the
I
products
wish I did. But
Uh,
yeah, excuses, I've heard them all. No, I mean, you want your health or don't you? You can't stay doing the same thing over and over again that has got you to this point until you make some changes, even if it's a little tiny step, a little scoop of this collagen powder. It's not that much, but it's a step, and it'll make you feel better physically and mentally, because you will have done something toward bettering your health. I mean, there's just so many things you can say. Don't, like Esther said, do not be shy.
Well, you got to remember too, we all know this. We have been so used to our lozenges and you just stick it in your mouth and suck on it, and they're so unique. And now we've got a powder, which, by the way, is better than anything else out there. It's not so much a Me Too thing, but to have a list of how you can put this in different things might get people's attention away from, oh, another one of those. I don't want to hear that at all. I want to make
Yeah.
it something they want to just chow down right away.
And we only put it in cold drinks, so not in soup or coffee or tea, or we just put it in cold.
Right.
Yeah, you want to preserve all the nutrients so they don't get destroyed by the heat.
Right. Yeah, they're powerful talking points. Don't underestimate how simple this sounds to us. But when you're talking to a potential customer and they come up with those pushbacks, right? Obstacles, suddenly we forget that you actually have to be creative in this world. And why not have this already ready at hand? Like, what about this, this, and this? Okay, now the obstacle is gone because they all drink something or eat yogurt or eat salad with a dressing. So, you know?
Yeah, the things they're putting in their bodies. If you do a little bit of your homework, watch my videos on my YouTube channel. It's all over. All that information is all in there. You can have some talking points with those videos too, so that you can counter any argument. If they say, well, I've been taking this for a long time, but yet they're not getting better, then you have something else that will help them, that kind of thing. There's also the business collagen. Esther, do you want me all to go over that?
Let's do.
Okay, so let me zoom through all this. Okay. I don't know why it's called business collagen. Anybody have an idea why it's called that?
We asked on the ship. Sergey said he will tell Tina later.
And he never
Oh.
did. So no,
Okay.
no idea why.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
asked that
far-reaching.
question and I still have no clarity on it.
We need to rename it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me
Okay. So anyhow, okay, here we go. The best synergistic blend. Okay, so there's a synergy here. It's true for the beauty collagen as well, but this one is pretty profound. You've got all these blends, right, providing all these nutrients found to be most effective for joint pain and degenerating cartilage. I'm gonna name all these and then I'll make a comment. A complete combination of nutrients shown to improve joint and cartilage tissue mobilization, movement. Focuses on a range of nutrients proven to improve immune system actions for reducing the real causes of pain and inflammation. All natural, safe, certified, and verified ingredients. I think that's a very important thing to install in there. Contains the most effective combination of ingredients scientifically proven to allow the body to synthesize new tissues. This has been my position for decades, okay? I saw with my own eyes that tissues can be revitalized, can be regenerated. It takes time, but it's possible. I've seen it with my own eyes. It matched the science, and I found new science and looking up things for this formulation. And so I feel so vindicted. I feel so glad that there's new science that says it out loud. Somebody finally has admitted it and said it out loud, that these ingredients, these phytochemicals and nutrients have been shown to allow the body to grow new tissues.
Wow, that's amazing. Of course, obvious question. What is the difference between the two collagens? And why do we have to take both? And when do we take them?
All right, let me jump to that part. This is a great question, Esther. And
yeah, because I'm like a dodo bird when it comes to science. So I'm just gonna ask the average person out there in the marketplace is gonna ask this question.
I don't remember everything either, and this keeps me on track because I can go off on these tangents that are ridiculous sometimes. Okay, so for the beauty collagen, it's got the type 1 and type 3. So where they get it from, the type 1, they get it from skin, bones, tendons, ligaments from the animals. Okay, and it provides structure and strength for our cells. The type 3 is found in muscles, cartilage, and organs, and that is the type that provides elasticity. So one is for structure, and the other is for just being flexible, right? So that our cells aren't damaged. So, and that includes the cells that make up the cartilage and the joints and the tendons, the ligaments and the fluids. So
right.
that's what those two are for. And then because they call it hydrolyzed, that just means that they add a water molecule to the mix. So that's hydro meaning water, you know. And so when they start breaking things down to produce the collagen in this production process, then that means they just add water to it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we can talk about the benefits later, but as far as the type 2 is very unique. I love it. So let's take a look at that one.
Okay, so the beauty is type 1 plus 3, and the
Yes,
benefit is type 2.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
let me
so
go
you
ahead.
need to take both, so you have them all three, basically.
Yeah, oops, I skipped it. Let me go
Okay,
back
and
here.
then I don't want to go make your brain go crazy, but why are they not just in one, 2, and 3? Can they not live together?
They can. I don't know why companies do that. I know of a product that has 5, you know, and there's even more different types, but not all companies will go to that expense, you know, and getting them. So let's see, where is it? It's here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now this is the most studied. There's more science behind the type 2 collagen than any others. So because people, when they take it in, it's much more effective as far as growing one's own cartilage. Okay, so that's why it's so very popular. And let's see if I can summarize what I've written here. So yeah, the scientists talk about oral administration. So when you take it in orally, of course, we're taking the other types in orally as well. But when it's undenatured, you know, that's just I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so yeah, so this is the one that helps the immune system recognize its own tissues so that it doesn't destroy its own tissues. So that's what's great about type 2. The other is just like a protein, and the body's going to use it, you know, and eventually we'll be addressing the joints and all those other issues of the joints of the, you know, tendons and such. But this one, it's been proven to suppress the development of arthritis, reducing the pain, you know, improving the joint function, and just decreasing inflammatory cytokines, the inflammatory proteins that are circulating in the blood whenever we have, you know, any kind of joint problem. So, you know, it's just going to reduce the fact that the cartilage is being worn down like an osteoarthritis and any other kind of arthritis. So also it reduces the autoimmune reaction, so it helps the immune system as well. So the immune system doesn't attack its own tissues, its own cartilage. Okay, so all the while it's inhibiting all this inflammation that's going on, right? And so it's comprised of 3 different sub-proteins or polypeptides, smaller proteins, and that comprises 80% of the total cartilage of the body. So it's very, very compatible with the body. And so, yeah, you know, again, most of them are obtained from skins, tendons, bones, hides, and, you know, shark cartilage. But the type 2, it's just undenatured, and it's insoluble. And so it can only be derived from cartilage itself. So only the cartilage in the animals are going to be utilized for developing our own cartilage. So that's what's so special about the type 2.
All right, so I'm going to ask you another difficult question, or maybe not. So how do we talk about this when we have all the lozenges and now we have a powder? So is the collagen going to benefit the use of the lozenges, and which ones? Or which ones should they take the lozenges with the collagen to create some, you know, is there some correlation between the collagen and any of the lozenges that they can empower each other?
Oh, yes. Yes. The slide, the plant compounds that are in the slide are made out of sulfur, just as the collagen is here in these products. So the sulfur in the molecular structures of those phytochemicals in those plants in slide and also in stop, that's what's going to reduce inflammation and help restore, because sulfur is the one element that's present in all of our cells, always, not sometimes, not, you know, being reduced or eliminated and have to be reinstated. So our body always has sulfur in its cells, and that is so cleansing and detoxifying. So when we use the stop and the slide with the collagen, you're going to find some pretty good just stories about their healings.
Okay, so the collagen 1-3 goes really well good with the BTY, correct?
Yes,
And then this one goes really well with the SLD
SLD and the stop.
and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I asked my questions. I want you to ask questions because it's important that we can get ready when we get the product. Then we will have the science call with Mary Esther after we got the product. But I want you to get really familiar. How can you blend this already in and prep your own brain and conversation about this product and how they tie in with the lozenges, so you have a powerful conversation ready when the product launches. Okay, so ask the questions.
So real quick, because I know there's some people getting hung up on the fact that it's a powder, the same as the protein powder that's coming out. And just to clarify you can't pull the DNA from a cartilage, because then you're just getting the shark's DNA. That's why we're not doing it as a lozenge, is what I was understanding from the people with APLGO when we were talking about certain things in Moldova. And same with protein. This is not plants. These are like the bovine and everything like that. So with the exception of obviously your plant protein, the other thing that I'll make note of is when we got the boxes with the business beauty box, there's only 10 packets, and it is not to be taken every, it's supposed to do what they said was half of the packet is fine to take, and not to do it every single day was also what was noted as well. In the beauty box, that one has 15 packets. And again, they said to cut it in half as well. So there's a few things that we learned about when we were in Greece that I know a lot of you guys weren't privy to.
Thank you, Deborah, for adding that.
So, Deborah, what you said about the lozenges, like I've always said, they don't have protein, right? They don't have animal-derived protein. Plants contain some of the amino acids that comprise proteins, so they're incomplete proteins. So that it's not the same. But the collagen is a protein because it's animal-derived, and the only amino acid that it's missing is the tryptophan. For some reason, but there's so much science out there showing the benefits of taking collagen for like sports, recuperating from injuries and that kind of thing. So if you take in animal-derived proteins in your regular diet, then you'll get the tryptophan kind of thing. So it's not something you need to worry about. But yeah, it's not a protein. The lozenges are not proteins at all. They're all plant-based and very limited in their amino acid, compositions.
So Mary Esther, I sent you the ingredients from the back of the actual products, which is different than the ingredient list on the back of the box, which is different than the ingredient list that we originally talked to when we got on that call with the scientists. So I just want to make 100% sure that we are all talking about the same ingredients that are the actual ingredients that I believe he said are on the back of these. So let's double, triple check everything to make sure
Yeah,
that
we
we're
will
all looking in the same place. Because the ones in the box is not correct. This is not correct. But this is.
Okay, to not create any confusion, okay, the product you will be available on November 8th. Everything will be double, triple checked, and you get the correct product with the correct label, with the correct information, with the correct PDFs, with the correct talking points. Okay. Lori, and then Kathleen.
Can I say something real quick? I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, no, Mary Esther, feel free. It's your call.
Okay, I wanted to respond to Tina. This is what I got from Esther. She had sent me another image, but I couldn't read them. They were too blurred. So I said, "Do you have something sharper?" And this is what she sent me, and this is what I based, all the research on.
So that's
Do you
the
know?
box, and that's incorrect because I know
Okay.
that the last ingredient on the box is the main one, right, that we had chatted about, and they did take
Yes.
that out.
Okay,
I am so glad.
to not create any confusion
Yeah.
on this call, Mary, Esther, Tina, myself,
Yes.
corporate team will go over all the labels in the final version. So by the time it's available, you don't need to worry about the label or the packaging or what's in it, okay?
Excellent. That's what I wanted to make sure I'm getting the right information. I'm so happy to hear that. I was so disappointed when I saw these ingredients. I thought, darn, what did we say? But this is good news.
So we all make sure you just get a sneak peek of something that's not ready yet. So give us 2 more weeks, and then when we see each other in Scottsdale or in Tennessee, is where you will get the products. How about that?
Yay.
Lori, go ahead.
Okay, I really have 2 questions. One is, because my customers are about bioavailability and absorption. I can tell them that the drops are mucosal and close to 100% available. Because this is hydrolyzed and going through the digestive system, I know there are some people out there who think you can't absorb collagen that way. So what would you say to that?
Depends on their digestive tract. Everyone has hydrochloric acid, and that's what breaks down proteins. So, I mean, it's broken down a bit in the stomach, but the proteins get more reduced into peptides, smaller and smaller peptides. Eventually, they become amino acids. So that all happens in the stomach and the upper intestine. And everyone has, you know, or they would be throwing up their food. Everyone has that acid that can break down anything. It dissolves metal, you know. So that's something that they have a misconception about, I would think.
Okay, so even though it's going through the digestive, they're still going to absorb a good amount of it.
Yeah, because amino acids are at the nanoparticle size. They'll enter through the cell membranes and they'll do their thing. They'll enter the circulatory system just like any other nutrient once it's reduced to that level.
Okay, and the other thing I noticed underneath that it showed calcium. Is that, how is that sourced? Because a lot of
That's a
people.
good question. We need to find out how it's sourced. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, well, the document that I have, I do cover that. And so, I mean, that's just in passing the type of calcium that's derived from all these different things. But the calcium carbonate, it's just found in rocks in the form of calcite or aragonite or in limestone. Calcium carbonate is not the ideal calcium. I wish they would have at least used citrate, but it has its value. You know, again, we're still being recorded, but it's still a good substance. And you have so many other great ingredients in there. It's not a bad source of calcium, but that's basically where calcium carbonate is derived from.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Lori. Kathleen.
Thank you. Mary Esther, I'd like to know how LFT can play a role with this in helping the body with
Oh,
this type
yeah.
of.
Yeah, we've got to keep those telomeres youthful, right?
Yes.
We've got to keep them going. So it's a combination. I mean, to stay young, there's no one thing that you can do to stay young, to keep those telomeres, the length of the telomeres long enough so that your cells behave in a youthful manner. But just a good diet, you know, half raw foods, lots of drops for that repair thing that they do. And then, of course, the protein, the animal-derived proteins, and the whole food complexes of other types of plants, you know, like your starches, that kind of thing. Just keeping up the whole range of nutrients every day, making sure you have plenty of enzymes to break down all of those foods, eating, you know, small enough meals, chewing properly. That's the first step in digestion. Just this whole process, right? And so that'll keep your telomeres young too, especially if you exercise, getting out in the sunlight. The sunlight has so many health benefits. Being out in nature, you're inhaling all of the aromatics that are released through the air from the foliage, the trees and whatnot, so beneficial too. And then, of course, being collecting the electrons that the earth has an abundance of, that's neutralizing free radicals in the body too, when you have skin contact contact with the earth, hugging a tree, sitting on a boulder, anything you can do to have skin contact. Those, all of the above. So that's all going to keep you young. The LFT really amplifies that. All of those enzyme active, energy frequency resonating types of viability that's in the drops is definitely going to help you do that. And the phytochemicals, the botanicals in the LFT are phenomenal for that. There's so much research behind those botanicals for that.
So the LFT will actually accelerate and accentuate what the collagen can do for our bones and our skin and the cartilage and the rebuilding of the tissues.
Right. Yeah, the collagen it's the most easily absorbed kind of protein. It's already broken down into the smaller proteins called the peptides. So that's just, especially if it's hydrolyzed, right? And if it's denatured, all those processes will reduce the collagen fibers of the animals down to the level where we can easily digest and absorb them.
Yep. And then STP and SLD then bring down the inflammation and the communication, and LFT can accentuate and provide it in a much faster manifestation.
Absolutely. And just, have people eat more raw foods. There's plenty of anti-inflammatory active compounds in the leafy greens, and things like that. The raw nuts and seeds, if they're not allergic to them. But yeah, there's raw foods. Half the diet should be enzyme active. And you combine all the drops and this collagen, you're going to have a lot of healing testimonials.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, look at him. How adorable.
The better version of me.
He's adorable.
He always has to give a hug and say hi. So thank you, Mary Esther, to give us a sneak peek on what's coming. So to create clarity for all of you, okay? We have different labels going around. We're still gonna finalize the correct label before you get it in your hands, okay? So don't go ahead on what's coming. Don't go in your own head, have stories going that are not gonna be relevant by the time we launch the product. So we're still finalizing everything. We already took some products out. We're still, because some people got ahead of time a package to try, they have different labels. All of them have different labels. So we're still finalizing the product labeling, the ingredient list, then the PDFs and everything we get. So by the time we launch it on November 8th, we're gonna have the correct product with the correct labels, and you will get everything you need to know exactly as it is. So you got a sneak peek. So don't go ahead with all kind of science stories and all kind of things in your head about the product, okay? Just be grateful you had a sneak peek. This is what it's coming. And now you know it goes with several of the lozenges, and it's gonna, one is animal, one is plant-based. It's all gonna empower each other, as I like to say, just get better results. So I'm excited about that. And just make sure you're gonna be in Scottsdale or Tennessee, because besides the product launch, you're gonna have incredible training, some guest speakers, and great to connect and collaborate and see each other in person. Magic happens at events. I keep telling that. Remember when many of you were in April in Scottsdale at the event? We had 200 people, and May was the best month we ever had. And I want you to understand the power of an in-person event. It's the community, it's seeing your team members, it's the speakers that's gonna do incredible training that you're only gonna get at the in-person event. It's not gonna be on a call. It's not gonna be in the next call. We're gonna repeat it. You're only gonna receive that training and content in person. And then fun activities as well in Tennessee as in Scottsdale, to really bond as a team in the community and talk about how can we grow and scale, how can we impact more lives as a community as a whole, okay? So I'd like to see you in person. I think people line up for hugs because they're long overdue for the people that I'm gonna see in person. So make sure you get your tickets, because the sooner we know, it's easier for us to get the products and everything lined up. So I know if you already know you're coming, let us know. Please don't wait with your ticket last minute because it's really hard planning for Casey in her beauty salon and all her events she's preparing for and getting everything lined up, everything she has to order and prepare. And the same for Tina and Kelly in Scottsdale. It takes a lot to put on an event. The only thing you have to do is make sure you buy your ticket. And then all the work will happen behind the scenes, but don't underestimate how much time and energy it takes and get everything ready for every single person that's going to show up. And it's different if you have 50 people show up or 100. So please, please, please get your tickets this week so we all know who's coming and get all your packages ready and everything ready, all the handouts. And so make it easy on Casey and on Kelly and Tina. Please, please, please. I would love to see you in person so we can finish 2025 strong. And we are setting the tone for a great kickoff of 2026. What is equally important, okay? But it's how you finish is how you're gonna start. There's not such a thing as December 31st at midnight is gonna be suddenly totally different than January 1st, 2026. It's only a second difference, okay? Or a hundredth of a second. Whatever happens in November, December is exactly what's gonna happen in January. So I want you to be part of it. I want you to be ready, show up, be there for 1, 2, or 3 days, as many as you can get away from your family, your job, your things that are on your calendar. We're gonna make it very, very powerful. I'm very excited to be there in person. We got some incredible things lining up for you, a lot of surprises. One of them was revealed today, but there's much more coming that you will not know unless you're in the room in person. So, Tina, do you like to wrap the call for me?
Sure. Yes, I think it's going to be extremely exciting, these events. I've never, ever met a leader who said, oh, I don't go to events. Like never in 20 years of network marketing have I ever met anybody who said they don't attend every single event that their company puts on, because that's where leaders are born, with the decisions that you make at the actual event. And I'll just say this. I mean, between Esther and Sherry and Michael Burnoff, I mean, that's like $7,500,000 worth of training in one day that we're going to have access to. That is still blows my mind that we have these 3 incredible speakers that come in.
I think you have to change the
Scottsdale.
numbers, okay, Tina? Sherry's keynote is $25,000, okay?
Yeah. And
My keynote fee is $15,000, okay? Michael Bernoff's keynote is also $15,000. So you get 3 top keynote speakers that companies really pay money for their audience to deliver the content they're gonna deliver. So don't underestimate the value and the power of being in that room. You only pay $100 to get incredible training and content and tools and handouts that you can take and put it in your business right away in November, December, and then kick off January. So it's not just another event and we're gonna suck lozenges all day. With all respect, this is gonna be hardcore. Let's build your business. Let's get serious. This is how you're gonna make more money. This is how you impact more lives. This is how you're gonna create a happy, healthy community. And this is how you're gonna expand beyond yourself, because a party of one is just a party of one. And so you want to bring this to many more so you can build your own community inside of the community. We're going to teach you exactly how to do that with the tools, the training, the technology, everything you need to know. We will bundle it in one freaking powerful day. It's like freaking badass. Okay. So I know I will go on my soapbox. I won't, because it's late for especially the people on the East Coast, but I love to see you in person, understand the value of what Tina and Kelly are putting together and the value that's Casey putting together in her beauty salon. I want you to be grateful, thankful, understand the value, and be freaking excited to be part of it. Because only things move at high vibration, high energy, alignment, and you want to be part of it. So looking forward to seeing you on the calls. What is it today? Monday? On Wednesday. My world is like totally off on Wednesday. And then again on Saturday with Sergey. Okay. And then next week, I'm not going to be there because I'm going to move to my new home. but you're gonna see me in person for sure in Scottsdale. So on that note, have a beautiful evening. Enjoy your week. Keep the sales going. It's only the 20th. We have 10 more days to finish October strong. So let's make it count. It's not Halloween yet. It's not Thanksgiving yet. It's not Christmas yet. It's ready to rumble.
Esther, I think Tuesday has a question there. She's put her hand up a couple times. Is it okay?
I know, but I want to keep the time because it's late for the East Coast. So Tuesday, tell me in 10 seconds.
So it's real quick. So they talked about the collagen being for sports, to help rebuild and everything. What would be the youngest age that they would be able to take something like that?
I can answer that.
I
Okay,
can't.
so, okay. Yeah, it depends on what the ingredients are, ultimately, the final ingredients. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
how we end the call is not with a question, so we start all over, okay? We never end the call with a question. It's not good for the energy. People go in split thinking. Oh my gosh. Okay, how are we gonna end this call? Who wants to take over from me? High energy. Come on, who's up?
Hey, everybody, thanks for coming in tonight. And here's what we're going to do. Everybody that can and is close is going to get their tickets for Tennessee or Scottsdale, and we'll see you there. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.